Hello there. Wow. Perfect. Wonderful. Well done.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? The Nintendo Beast here. We're going to jump into some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe here on the Nintendo Switch today. We've got some things to talk about. First of all, I realized just today, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I checked my YouTube channel and it's not posted. So if I did produce it, I never posted it to my channel, which is weird. Additionally, I also can't find it in any of my video archives, like on any of my hard drives or anything like that. So it seems incorrect, but apparently I never did a first impressions video for Wave 4 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. So it's kind of too late to do that now. I've already raced on these courses, and I think during my last live stream, it's weird to think about, because I think during my last live stream I also thought about it, and I was like, oh, this is a weird course that I've never raced on before, and I don't remember it from my most recent Booster Course Pass first impression video. So it must not have it just never happened, apparently. The video just never got produced. I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but it didn't happen, and that's that. But anyway, so can't really backtrack and correct myself, so I apologize. I missed out on the opportunity to create that video, but we are going to be playing some Mario Kart Booster Course, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and talking about the Mario Kart Booster Course Pass a little bit in this video today, so there's that. So first of all, we're jumping into Mario Circuit, and we'll see how terrible I do. Let's rock and roll. I know usually during my live streams when I play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I do pretty bad, but it's also because I have a lot of viewers, a lot of subscribers here on the channel that are just like ridiculously good. Y'all know who you are, but like there's never really a chance of me coming in first place during those streams. But I mean, I could definitely perform a little bit better than I usually do. Lots of people sending, you jerk, Wario. And just like that, I went from 1st to 8th. And that's why this game is so infuriating. I also want to say, before we really get into the video and the dialogue here today, that I'm actually also just kind of overcoming a cold at the moment. So, not really a cold, more so just like, I don't know if it was a sinus infection or what the deal is. But regardless, I'm only saying this because I apologize if I sniffle more than usual. I always sniffle a little bit in my videos. But if it's more than usual, I apologize. And also if I sound like kind of raspy or crap, anything like that, it's probably why. Probably why. Not definitely, but probably why. Okay, I'm over this. I'm over this. All of y'all. I'm over all of y'all. But yeah, let's talk about the Booster Course Pass, shall we? So, before the Booster Course Pass, as we all remember, there was talks of whether or not Mario Kart 9 was going to be a thing, and I'm sure it's going to be a thing at some point, but whether or not it was going to be a thing here on the Nintendo Switch. At this point, I think the answer is pretty plainly no. I mean, I guess it really depends still on, oh crap, how long Nintendo plans on, you know, maintaining the Nintendo Switch era of gaming, right? So that's kind of the real question at hand, I would say. Ugh, 6th place. Terrible. We'll call that my warm-up round, but I don't suspect it's going to get much better than that, so buckle up, people. It's going to be a long one. No, but, so it all kind of depends on how long Nintendo intends on keep Merry Mountain. Keeps the Nintendo Switch era alive. Are we gonna see a new Switch? Are we gonna see a Switch 2? Or just some new Nintendo console? You know, that's kind of the question at hand here. And if Nintendo... So the way Mario Kart 8 Deluxe looks right now, we still have more waves of Booster Course Pass courses on the horizon. I think we're waiting for Wave 5 now. I'm not sure if there's an estimated release date on that just yet. But we're waiting on Wave 5 of 8 total waves. And for that reason, you know, those waves are supposed to roll out fully by the end of 2023, I believe. So by the end of 2023, we'll have every single course that is intended to be coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe available to play. I don't know what's going on right now with this. It seems like we're just kind of frozen in limbo. There we go. There's the countdown. But with that being said, that means we're definitely not going to see anything new from Mario Kart, or for the Mario Kart franchise, at least until the end of this year, outside of, presumably, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, because it just doesn't make sense that they would roll out a new, or announce a new Mario Kart game, while there are still updates rolling out for the existing one. It just doesn't make sense, because why would anybody invest in the Booster Course Pass? They're still hoping to get more people to invest in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, not only in the core game, for anybody who doesn't have it yet, but also, obviously, for people who are still on the fence of whether or not they should purchase the Booster Course Pass. They're going to be, you know, marketing that until the last wave rolls out. Doesn't make any kind of sense to roll out a Mario Kart 9, or even announce a Mario Kart 9 before then, I don't think. And then from there, so the earliest, let's just say, the earliest we could even potentially see an announcement for a Mario Kart 9 would be 2024. And I think that's being that's early. That's being generous. I don't suspect that we would see a Mario Kart 9 announcement. At the earliest, I would say late 2024. Not early. Not mid, like summer or anything like that. I'm thinking late 2024 at the earliest for a Mario Kart 9 announcement. And then also, you know, it's also contingent on, again, what Nintendo plans to do with its hardware. If we're not seeing a new console, if it's going to be the Switch for, I don't know, say the Switch era is going to last another 5 years. Well, then maybe we'd see a Mario Kart 9 coming to the Switch still. But if we're only going to see, like less than 3 years of support for the Nintendo Switch console, I just don't see a Mario Kart 9 coming to the Nintendo Switch. So it all kind of relies on that. As of right now, do I think a Mario Kart 9 is going to come to the Switch? No. Flat out, I don't suspect at this point. It's getting worse. We're at 7th place now. As of right now, looking at the timeline of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass and all the games, it feels very much, I want to say, we've had so many incredible games releasing on the Nintendo Switch over the past couple of years, and it does feel like this year is the start of the sunsetting of the Nintendo Switch era. That's just my opinion. Like that's not based on anything. It's just the way it looks to me. Because at the end of this year, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which has been one of the flagship games on Nintendo Switch, as Mario Kart games always kind of are for Nintendo hardware, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been kind of the flagship game where it's like, if you own a Switch, you probably own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It released very early during the console's lifespan, and they've been really pushing it ever since. The Booster Course Pass to keep it alive, you know? Games like Animal Crossing New Horizons, it was a big game, it was a flash in the pan, and it was so heavily influential to pop culture during like the global COVID-19 pandemic. But now it's kind of fizzled out. They're not really marketing it nearly as much. Support for the game has died out, so no more updates. We've got the big 2.0 update. We've got... the game is pretty much... I hate to say this, but the game is pretty much dead. Like, what it is what it is. And so when I say it's dead, I don't mean that it's dead and it's not worth playing, because it absolutely is still worth playing. I still play it here on the channel. Animal Crossing New Horizons is absolutely still worth playing. When I say it's dead, I mean, like, it's not still getting updates, it's not still getting supported, it's not still being marketed the way it was. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has very much outlived almost every other game, realistically. It's pretty much outlived the lifespan of every other Nintendo Switch game. You look at games like Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 died out, so to speak, and you know, we therefore saw the release of Splatoon 3. And so now Splatoon 3 is the new Splatoon game, and that's being pushed. ARMS died out instantly. I still want to get my hands on ARMS, because I feel like it was fun when I played the demo of it. But my point being, even like games like Mario Odyssey, there are games, newer games that released after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that have kind of been stopped. Like, they're not marketing them anymore. Metroid Dread, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, still being marketed, but will blatantly die out long before Mario Kart 8 Deluxe does. So with all that said, we've had such incredible games releasing on the Switch, and they're all available now. And that's not to say that there aren't more games on the horizon. We have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on the very immediate horizon, coming up in May. So, like, in a couple of weeks here. We still have... we just got the new Metroid Prime Remastered, which... Crap. Come on. I'm doing terribly. Oh my god. So what happens when I try to talk and play at the same time, which is literally every time I'm on camera playing this game, so, you know, that's why I'm so bad, I guess. But come on, guys, I even voted for this. I voted for this map, and I'm still blowing it. I'm just getting worse and worse progressively every race I play. But yeah, so we're not, and also this year, getting Pikmin 4. The idea is that we might still get a Metroid Prime, like maybe a full remaster of the whole Metroid Prime trilogy, followed by maybe Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch. It's hard to say at this point, honestly. It's really hard to say what console Metroid Prime 4 is going to release on. Honestly, at this point, it might even be whatever the next console is, that might be where Metroid Prime 4 lands. I don't think so, though. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're going to hear something about Metroid Prime 4 along with the other two Prime games remastered for the Switch. I think they're all going to land on the Switch. I think Metroid Prime 4 might be one of the final major games we see land on the Nintendo Switch. And I would project it would be landing maybe very late 2023, maybe 2024. That would be my absolute best guess. And I know that, like, that's not based on anything. That's just based on, like, the timeline that I kind of picture in my head for the longevity, the remainder of the Nintendo Switch lifespan. I do think we are starting to sunset the Nintendo Switch era. Like I said, we talked about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and how it's pretty much stood the test of time, and it's been this iconic flagship title here on the Switch. And the reason I said that was because even it is being sunsetted more or less at the end of 2023. Like, all the content, presumably all the content that is going to release for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is coming by the end of 2023 with this booster course pass. So, with that said, you're sunsetting updates and support for the final, or for like the biggest game that's been kind of iconic from start to finish for the Switch. And so when you sunset that, and when I say sunset, I mean, obviously you're not losing support for it, but you're losing the potential of updates for it. Like, the game is what it is, similar to Animal Crossing New Horizons. When a game like this comes to an end, I think it kind of earmarks the end of the console generation as well. It would mean that it's time for Mario Kart 9 to release, essentially, right? And I just don't see... I don't see the Switch era lasting long enough from here, from this point that we're in now. I don't see it lasting long enough for it to see the release of Mario Kart 9 on this console. I think 2024, and I think I've said this before, I think 2024 we're going to see the actual full sunsetting. We're not seeing quite as many big first-party games coming to the Switch. At this point, maybe that'll change. Maybe we'll see even bigger, like even more big titles. Like I said, we got The Legend of Zelda, and we've got Pikmin 4 coming to the Switch this year so far, and pretty soon with that in mind. I think we might see a couple more big titles, but it's hard to say. I think Nintendo is pretty content with its catalog of games for the Switch as is. So then begs the question of what comes next, right? What comes next? And this is a conversation we have a lot. I have a lot on this channel, whether it be during multiplayer commentary videos like this, or just during live streams with people who tune in. And the question that always comes to mind is what comes next? If not Switch, then what? And it's very possible, I would say, because Nintendo worked so hard to flesh out, because they worked so hard to flesh out the Nintendo Switch with the virtual consoles, like the NES games, the N64 games, the Super Nintendo games, the Sega Genesis games, the Game Boy games now, and Game Boy Advance. I think because they did so much to flesh that out, I think some kind of an adaptation of the Switch is likely to come next. So whether we do see a Switch 2 that is backwards compatible with your existing Switch games, but with better hardware, or, you know, the notoriously fake Switch Pro that never came to fruition, that everybody said was real, but never came to fruition. I believe it just became the OLED. I could see something like that happening, where they're not necessarily removing or like moving on fully from the Switch, but still moving forward in a way that allows them to create more games, more hardware consuming games, I want to say. So what comes to mind is like the upgrade from like the 2D, or like from the regular Nintendo DS to the 3DS, right? You can play 2DS games on a 3DS, but you can't play 3DS games on a 2DS. That kind of thing. So the cartridges might... The new cartridges for the Switch 2 or the Switch Pro, I think the software on the Switch, the next Switch, would look very much the same. And it might not even be, you know, a Switch 2 or a Switch Pro. It might be something totally different. But I think that backwards compatibility and that expansion on what already exists from the Switch would be the most logical move for Nintendo moving forward. Because it would just feel like such a waste to move entirely away from the Switch when you do have, you know, this incredible infrastructure already pre-built, and that you've been kind of building up for the past X number of years, right? That's just the way I see it. And I think something like that, if it isn't a full new, like, I don't know how to put it. If it isn't like a full new console generation, so to speak, it's just like an expansion, or like, I don't know. If it's not like, so if it was just like a full new thing, like the Wii to the Wii U kind of, or the Wii to the Nintendo Switch, right? Or like, to cite other, you know, console producers, if it was like a PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 type of deal, or an Xbox One to Xbox Series X type of deal. If it was a full console generation change, then I would say it's probably farther out on the horizon based on everything that's going on. But if it was like a Switch 2 or a Switch Pro, where it still supports everything that's already exists on the Switch and then some, I could totally see that on the, like, in the relatively near future. Crap, dude, I was doing so well and I just blew it right there. Something that doesn't completely, I guess that's my point. If it's going to be something that doesn't completely eradicate what is already built on the Switch, I could see it coming sooner rather than later. If it's something that's completely new, I don't think we're going to see it for a minute. I guess that's the bottom line. Oof. Well, 5th place, that's the best I've done so far. I was hanging with the big boys for a minute there until I completely drove off course and screwed myself. But, you know, it is what it is. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of my opinion on Switch moving forward. I think we are going to slowly start to see the sunsetting of the Nintendo Switch. I think it's already kind of beginning. I think we're going to definitely see it even more so, likely beginning in 2024. Like, the true, like, noticeable sunsetting of the console. And then I think maybe summer of 2024 or late 2024, we'll see glimpses, perhaps, of what comes next. And then if I had to guess, I would say new hardware early 2025. Early 2025 if it's something big, if it's something small. Late 2024, early 2025 if it's something small, like upgraded hardware, like a Nintendo Switch Pro, right? Or a Switch 2. Full new console generation, not until late 2025, early 2026 at the earliest, I would say. I think the Switch definitely still has a considerable lifespan. Not saying that it has to have that considerable lifespan. I'm just saying that it has the potential for it. I think with the catalog of games that already exists and that's still rolling out for the console, as well as updates for games, I think that's where we're at. Crap. So with all that considered, let's dial back in closing to Mario Kart and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like I said, I don't suspect we see a Mario Kart 9 on Switch. Probably ever. But if it is something like a Switch Pro rolls out, I could see it potentially rolling out on the Switch Pro and being backwards compatible or whatever. Something of that nature. I'm doing so bad. Oh my lord. I like, in slow motion, I watched that green shell coming directly at my face, and I was like, I should turn left, or turn right, or literally turn any direction other than going straight into it. Gee, I'm miserable right now. Yeah, give me this bullet bill and get me back on track here, shall we? Let's try again. Okay. I only moved up like 2 ranks, but I feel a little bit more confident now. mostly because I have the superstar power up. As does apparently everybody behind me. Crap. Ah! Alright. Come on, let's finish strong. So yeah, I'm very content though. I'm very content with how Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is shaping up on the Switch. I think the Booster Course Pass was absolutely ingenious by Nintendo. Again, you're taking this game that started, basically, arrived with the beginning of the Nintendo Switch era. It wasn't a launch title per se, but it was, you know, it was part of like of the Switch lineup from pretty much from the beginning, and it's still here. It's still very popular. It's one of the games, like I said before, that almost every Switch owner owns. And I think the Booster Course Pass was more logical than rolling out a Mario Kart 9. Because, again, so many people already owned Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And it just made sense. Let me give me one more. Let's do DK Summit. See if we can actually get this one. Because I tried to vote for it earlier and we didn't get it. But I think the Mario Kart 8 Booster Course Pass absolutely made perfect sense, and I think it turned out better than it would have for Nintendo and as us as gamers, than a Mario Kart 9 releasing would have, because then we'd have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we'd have Mario Kart 9, it would basically kill Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because at least half of the audience of that game would have migrated to Mario Kart 9. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe would be half a game, or it would have half the audience. Mario Kart 9 would have half the audience than it would. You know, I think this is more logical that 100% of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe audience stays with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and they just, you know, give us all these incredible new courses. It just makes more sense, I think. And I know a lot of people were bummed about it at the start, but, like, I think it just makes perfect logical sense. And we got Rainbow Road. We didn't even get the DK Summit that I wanted. It's fine. We'll go out with this. And, yeah, so Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. I've had a lot of fun with it thus far. I think it was a great addition. And, again, it does keep the game alive for an extra, what? Oh, my God. It has kept the game alive for, like, an additional, like, 2 years. Right? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was all but... I mean, I don't know if anybody really... I'm trying to remember what updates, or if there were any updates, that were coming to the game at the point of when the Booster Course Pass was announced and started to arrive in waves. I don't think there were any updates really coming for the game at that point. And so I think it reinvigorated the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe audience. And it's kept the game vibrant and alive. Something that, like, for example, you look at a game that I personally love. I know it has mixed reviews based on content. The amount of content it comes with. But Mario Strikers Battle League, that game died out so quickly in regards to online multiplayer. Right off a cliff. Right off a cliff, guys. Right off a cliff, as we do here. But that game died out so quickly because there were just, like, the updates that it did receive were such garbage. They were just, like, cosmetic things. It wasn't additional gameplay or additional content. It was just, like, new maps that didn't mean anything and new playable characters, which was cool, but, like, didn't change the game in any kind of meaningful way. So the game is now basically the same exact thing as it was at launch, with just a few extra bells and whistles. And now all updates are rolled out for it, and the game is not going to be receiving any more content, and therefore the game is pretty much dead. So if you love the game like I do, then more likely than not you're going to keep playing it, but it's not attracting any new audience members. There's no hope, really, of receiving any more content, and so it is what it is. And it still has that full price tag on it, so which turns people away, because at this point everybody knows that the lack of content is pretty drastic in the game. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a game that did significantly better, and the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, you know, was a really, really good complement to the existing game. To an existing game that, again, I feel like a lot of people probably didn't expect any updates to come for. I think more people were expecting a Mario Kart 9 situation than a Booster Course Pass situation, but I think this was very logical, and I'm super here for it. So, with that being said, I want to apologize once again that I missed my opportunity to create the Booster Course Pass Wave 4 first impression video, but you can, let me back out here quick, but you can absolutely look forward to a Wave 5 first impression video coming out here on the channel. I still swear somewhere on my computer, on my desktop, I have that video recorded and edited. I can't for the life of me find it, and it's blowing my mind because it would have happened in March of this year. It would have happened at my new place, and I feel like I definitely recorded at least one first impression video here at in the new studio, and yet the last one posted was from last year in the old studio. So something weird's going on, guys. I don't know where it is or what happened or why it didn't happen, if it didn't happen, but regardless, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are. I know we touched on kind of a lot during this video, so let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are for the future of Switch, for the future of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, what games you still suspect will be coming on the Switch. I think we've had this conversation before, like I said, but I think it's cool to keep this dialogue going as things shape up, because the landscape of the Nintendo Switch release calendar is drastically different now than it was, say, a year ago this time, or even, 6 months ago. So I think it's cool to continue the conversation and keep it going as the landscape continues to kind of flesh itself out before our eyes. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel here, and make sure to ring that bell for notifications. I upload new video content such as this every single weekday, Monday through Friday of every single week, and I also do live streams just about every weekend, usually on Saturdays starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you don't want to miss out on that. More Mario Kart 8 Deluxe content to come, as well as, during my live streams here on the channel. Make sure to smash the like button on this video and leave me a comment in the comment section below, like I said before. But until next time, I am the Nintendo Beast. Once again, thank you so much for watching.